Hey everyone, it's me, Pastor Bogat. In this particular video, it's going to be about the consequences, the struggle in being in the left-hand path, because it's going to pay off. The reason why I say that is I'm thinking about how I look at other black magicians, occultists, individuals who are involved in demons, demonology, and they talk a lot about how Satan should be glorified, in which he should, always should be. But yet they talk very little about the consequences. And what I mean by that is I know at the same time it's difficult to speak about Satan when he done so much for us. So in other words, they want to glorify him, but they really want to lessen the whole idea of darkness. So in other words, they'll say it that one time and then move on, or they'll say a little bit about it but not in detail. So in other words, they like to speak in metaphors instead of actually telling the people who are really interested and dedicating themselves to Satan or any of the demonic that the consequences are very real. And what I mean by that is when you make a dedication to Satan, yes, you will get what you want. Okay? It may not be right away. It may take time for it to come into fruition, most likely years. But you know what? You're going to get what you want. But like I said seconds ago, this video is about really the struggle and the type of consequence that you're basically going through in order to achieve that. See, because what I'm trying to say is that people don't know what they really want. They say they want something, right? But it's really based off a reaction. It's very ideal only. But then when the consequence of doing a magic spell, a love spell, trying to find a life partner, twin flame, whatever it is that you ask a demon for, they're not really willing to sacrifice. And this is really what that darkness is all about. It's really entails the sacrifice that you would have to go through in order to achieve what you want. Because do you really, really want what you're asking for? Because those who just see it as a surface level of what they want, they fizzle away quickly. So in other words, it's like if I were to say, do you want to make $1 million? People at the ready would just go, yeah, I do. But you'll soon find out that out of 10 people, one person really knows exactly what that question is all about. And it's not just on the surface of, well, what do I have to do in order to get the $1 million? But that one person that succeeded out of the 9, they know it's not just the very notion of knowing what you have to do, but it's actually doing it. And a lot of people fizzle away because the consequences are real. That's why I'm making this video, because when you really look at it for what it is and you spend your time with that particular demon, like with me and Satan, I've learned by doing this money spell. It took 5 years. I'm still waiting patiently, and I'm still doing this money spell. And it's one of those things where it's like it takes a very, very long time. Sometimes it could be sooner, depending on what you ask for, or whatever have you. But it takes a lot out of you, a lot of energy. So therefore, when you look at it from the viewpoint of darkness, it's like it's necessary, because what Satan is really doing along the way, for I can only speak for myself, for the 5 years, is that you're improving yourself. You're becoming more in tune with your higher self. It's like exercise. That part of your body could be flabby or whatever have you, but the more you work on it, you should tone up. Now that's exactly what I'm trying to do when it comes to this particular video. In order for someone to really make an educated, a well thought out decision, you should think about the consequences. In other words, the fine print. So when I say Satan will give you what you want, but you have to go through darkness in order to get it, Your next question should be, could you explain exactly what darkness is? Right? That's the fine print. So in the fine print, going through this darkness, Satan's gonna, more or less, because what happened to me may not happen to you. Like for my own um, path working, is that Satan has taken away my job. He put me on a instant loop of just reliving the same event over and over again, which is tiresome. It's monotonous. It's painful. But yet, to say the very least, all that is needed because it really works out a lot of that impurities that are within me, and I'm able to become a lot more stronger or healthier by envisioning myself already having that windfall or whatever spell that I want or what you're requesting of that particular demon. Whatever it is that you're petitioning them, it's going to end up happening. But I realize that when I work with Satan and I in that pit of darkness, that lake of fire, it's not so much like I'm testing the lake of fire, but I throw myself into it unknowingly. What I mean by unknowingly is I didn't know what to expect. I just did it. But if I were to really sit there and been told the things that I'm telling you in this video, I'm not too sure if I would have thrown myself into a 5 year long, infinite, endless loop of, just of pain, humiliation, all these negative feelings that are beneficiary for me so I could become a better version of myself. It's like if you're looking for good, if you're looking for something that is instant gratification, that is not what Satan and the demonic. There has to be some other elemental or spirit out there that could do that for you. Because being with Satan is a lot of hard work. It's like I'm blessed and cursed at the same time, even though it's mostly a dark blessing. But I say cursed because Satan, like I said, is increasingly frustrating to be with because of the test that, well, I hate saying the word test. It's like it's very Christian, very judo Christian like, but let's just say challenging. It's very challenging because I'm kind of like saying to myself like, what do you really want? You want me to put energy in this or not? You know what I mean? And it could be very confusing, but I always manage because though Satan is very frustrating, he does give answers. He does give a reason why he does the things he do, and I'm able to move forward, even in an infinite loop. Garris helped me to appreciate I need to enjoy the abundance around me, which is in connection with how I view my life. Because at one point I almost committed suicide. So looking at the abundance around me, not so much monetary gain, but the abundance, I'm able to enjoy my life to the fullest. But then you can see how difficult that is because how could one enjoy their life to the fullest when they're on repeat? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where if you see how I'm expressing myself, how authentic, how candor I am, you have to think about what you're doing. You have to think about it. Read that fine print before you dedicate yourself, and do know that in the very end, regardless of the years, the time that you do this spell, it's worth it in the very end. And mind you, I don't even have it yet. Then I'm able to make this video because, I can see the benefit of it. And at the same time, when I think about Satan, out of my love, out of my want, I want to make these videos so that people could benefit from him, love him for who he really is. But to love someone for who they really are, that person that you proclaim to love you is going to bring out the worst in you, the best in you, and they're going to push you closer to the real version of yourself like Satan has done for me. And I hope those who listen to this video, they could see the same thing within their own personal path working with Satan or any of the beautiful demonic. It's definitely worth it, but of course, please read the fine print. and make sure that as you do so, don't take little don't take little consideration or little thought. In other words, don't think very little when you actually should be looking at it in such a way where this is a very big life-changing event. So don't think very little of it. Think about it before you do it, because what I've been through, even just yesterday, just thinking about this 5 year long pact, this pact with Satan, about this money ritual, it's like it's there. You know what I mean? It's there, and it's very real. And I know for a certainty, for a fact, that once I get to the very ending of it, I'm gonna be blessed. I'm gonna be blessed by Satan, and I'm gonna be very happy about it. And I want to thank every single one of you for watching. I hope you learned, and please subscribe to this channel, and please smash the like button. See you, and have a good one.